the rights of licensing music into video games are, again, very similar to the film industry. There are two sides. There's the master side, and there's the publishing side, which is a sync. You're syncing it up to a visual element. So there's two people to pay, and we approach it that way. It's also very similar, and we model it very much like the film industry in that, they're buyouts. There's no participation. I think that's pretty much become the industry standard right now. There is participation for composers, which we'll get to a little later on here, not in game rights, but in other opportunities, third-party opportunities down the line, extracurricular things we do with scores. But when it comes to licensed music, it's pretty much two sides. That there's a license request that goes to whoever owns that license, and they sign off on it and negotiate a fee with us, and we're good to go. We do and we don't do soundtracks. First of all, we don't do physical soundtracks because I don't even believe some people in the record business want to be in the record business anymore. So we don't exactly, press 12 songs from a game onto a CD and put it out to retail. It's just, the math doesn't add up for that. However, we are in the digital, service provider soundtrack world. However, it's sometimes a difficult task, to get, because inevitably you want to sell 15 tracks or 14 tracks for $9.99, I think, which is the typical album price on iTunes, and you've got different songs from different labels, and it's their participation and their math, and, it's something we just don't choose to necessarily consistently get our hands dirty with. It's too much work for too little return, to be frank with you. It would behoove them, and I'll say this to you, that if a label, when they are uploading their song to iTunes later on for sale, it would behoove them to actually add Madden NFL or EA Sports to the metadata, because people are searching that. And I've had some labels who get that and some labels who don't. But inevitably, if a kid, hears Atreyu, and I'm actually, I'm using just a hypothetical, and a kid goes in and punches in EA Sports and iTunes, that song should come up. Many labels don't do that, which I think is a bit foolish, to be honest with you. That said, soundtracks. We have put together digital soundtracks in the past. We've gone in there and put our own music up there. There's plenty of things that we participate in, such as our NFL film remixes in Madden and our scores, and these are things that we wholly own or partially own, and we will sell soundtracks, digitally speaking. We have a partnership with Network, and they are our digital marketing division, so to speak. And anywhere where music is legally sold around the world, you can get the soundtrack to Medal of Honor, you can get the soundtrack to The Sims, you can get the beats of NBA Live, you can get the NFL remixes from Madden, and so on and so on. So these are things that we believe, are a part of the future and the sort of horizontal approach of game space. In other words, the level of entertainment we can provide, musically speaking, you should be able to, buy those beats that you love. And hey, if you want to throw them into, some program and create an original song against it, it's fantastic. Songs that are originally created for the game, any song that's licensed into the game or created for the game becomes, in that case, sometimes a work for hire, sometimes a license, depending on it. Songs that are created for The Sims, are our songs. They become work for hire, just like scores. However, there are writer shares involved, and we'll get to that in a moment with composer. So when we do go out there and exploit it further on iTunes or through our music publishing company, which we can get to in a moment, there's a writer share to collect for the writer. So that's where he or she can sort of, make more money down the line. But anything that is thematic to our game, and this is the same as a film company, same as an animated film companies, whatever the case may be, we end up owning that property. It's an essential ingredient. We can't have a Sims theme, hypothetically, which is written by somebody and not own that. But songs are written for The Sims. Sometimes we'll have partial ownerships of songs, for songs in Madden, because our publishing company will have these great producers, these hip-hop producers, and they'll bring in an artist to do a song for it, and then by default we end up owning 50%. So, for the most part, though, most songs that are directly licenses from labels and publishing companies, we don't participate in.